Welcome all to Chasing Tents. My name is Abby. Thank you very much for joining me, guys, to this new episode at familiar territory, which is TBR Performance just outside Swindon in Hungerford. Now, I've got two amazing Superbikes, I call it, from Kawasaki from their respective eras. This is the 1996 ZX7R. This is the 2014 Kawasaki ZX10R. Now, this has won the championship twice with Thundersport in the hands of lovely, talented Ritchie Thornton. Now, I'm going to get Ritchie on the mic because why are we here at TBR with these two bikes? Because they just haven't been raced for the last two years or so, and they just want to, Ritchie just wants to put them on the dyno with Matt Wren at TBR Performance just to get, you know, them running a bit, just to see what kind of power they're making and if everything's okay, because Ritchie does plan to race here and there a bit with these bikes. So let me get Ritchie on the mic so he can tell you a bit more about the upgrades on these amazing two Superbikes, especially this one. Even though this is an old girl, the upgrades on this are absolutely stunning, and there's not even a starter motor on this one because you've got to start it manually the old school way, the things where the two-stroke era and stuff like that. So I'll get Ritchie on the mic and he'll tell you a bit more about it. Then we'll go to the dyno room and show you some dyno figures and dyno runs.
Hiya, my name is Ritchie Thornton. This is the ZX7R that I've raced in Golden Era Thundersport Championship. It won the championship 2 times. I'm going to tell you a few of the upgrades we've done on that. The start was the suspension, just to get the bike handling right. So we put ZX10R forks and swing arm on. That allowed us to then put the lighter ZX10R wheels, and we've got Öhlins fork internals and the Öhlins rear shock on the back as well. The engine-wise, it's been a long project over a few years, making it better and better. As it stands now, we have flat slide carbs, 39 mils flat slide carbs. Normally people go for the 41, but I preferred the mid-range feel I got out the 39s. The sacrifice a little bit of top-end power. The cylinder heads we have on there is from an ex-Eckel racing superbike in Germany, which we were fortunate enough to get off a mechanic that kept hold of it. The gearbox is Nova gearbox, just to help with a little bit of the power transfer, because we first ended up snapping teeth off gears when we started tuning the engine, so we've had to upgrade that. We've got Carrillo conrods in there, Wiseco pistons, stroke crank from the earlier model, which gives it a bit more capacity, and racing oil pump in there, which just gives a couple of brake horsepower because it's not driving the alternator anymore, which we've removed, and it's all starting off a starter roller. Okay, so I'll tell you a little bit more about the ZX10R over here. It's not had quite as much heavy modification as the ZX7R, but we've done a little bit of work to it. So I've had Worcester high compression pistons put into it. It's had a lightened and balanced crank. The suspension's been upgraded with Maxton suspension, which made a big difference to the handling of the bike. And it's had a skimmed head on there as well, along with reground racing cams and Vance and Hines valves. One of the main upgrades as well is the electrics. We've retrofitted the Gen 5 electronics to it, so that's the whole loom, ECU, airbox and injectors, and that's allowed us to have the better traction control which the later models came with, and gives us a little bit more to hold our own with the modern bikes.
Okay, welcome back guys. That was Ritchie telling you all about the upgrades on these two stunning machines, especially this one. This is close to my heart because I'm a bit of a retro lover, and this is the ZX7R from 1996. It's got loads and loads of upgrades. Ritchie told me later that he forgot some, but you know, the list he told to us is just absolutely stunning. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take these two bikes to the dyno, starting with the ZX10R from 2014. Now this bike used to make 198 horsepower a year and a half ago, so the bikes have not run for a while, so we're not chasing power today. We just want to make sure the bikes run okay, so if Ritchie wants to do a track day or a race or two, he can go and do that. That bike has never been on a dyno before. It's always been tuned by the ear by some proper old school mechanics. So we're going to take both these bikes to the dyno room. Let's start with this one. I'll explain everything to you a bit later about the BHP it's made and also the air fuel ratio. I've been told the sniffer on the dyno is not working, so the air fuel ratio has been measured a bit differently. I'll explain all that to you later. Let's go to the dyno room. Welcome back everyone. Now this is a totally different environment to TBR Performance. This video is shot in winter 2024. That earlier dyno videos were shot in summer 2024. So I haven't made a video for 4 or 5 months, and if you follow me, you know that I was doing a master's degree, and I'm still doing the master's degree in automotive journalism, but I do have the dyno sheets from that day. They did a few runs, but like I said to you before, they were not chasing horsepower and they were not doing any remaps. They just wanted to make sure that these bikes, which hadn't been run for about 2 years, are running fine. Now they did have a figure in mind for the Kawasaki ZX10R 2014, which was 198 horsepower. Now since then they have rebuilt the engine, there's a new exhaust, so they were curious to see what changes will be. And also you got to remember, their 198 bhp run was in winter, this was in summer, so denser air and few other things can make a difference. So let's tell you the results. So the Kawasaki ZX10R 2014 was 193.08 bhp at 12,901 rpm. Max torque was 84.61 pound-feet at 11,228. So 5 horsepower less than what they were thinking. And to be honest, they were fine with that because it was a completely different exhaust which wasn't really married into the system and the Gen 5 electronics and all sorts. I did let the ZX7R run carry on for a while because I really wanted you to hear not only that amazing inline 4, but how quickly it catches the revs. That bike is just next level with all the internal changes on that bike. So that bike did, so ZX7R, maximum power 142.96, let's say 143 bhp at 11,799 RPM, max torque 69.85, let's say round figure 70 pound-feet at 10,427 RPM. Think about that, 1996 ZX7R, so 750cc, and look at that, 143 bhp. Now comparing that to a third sheet I've got in my hand, which is my Suzuki GXSR 1100 from 1989, same dyno, 128 horsepower, 10,191 RPM, max torque 74.33 pound-feet at 7,555, and you have to ignore all the air-fuel ratios here because the sniffer wasn't working that day. So anyways, my 1100cc 1989 proper like superbike from that era, which is the late 80s, is nowhere near the horsepower of that 750cc. So what an amazing bike that ZX7R is. I'm actually going to make a proper dedicated video on that bike because I've been so impressed, because also Ritchie told me that he forgot to mention some more upgrades. I mean, I don't know what else he's got, but of that bike. So we'll do a dedicated video on that bike. But for now, these were the figures that day, and they are quite happy with these figures. Bernie Thornton and Ritchie Thornton from Team 71. But yeah, that was quite a quirky, different video to what I normally do. This was a very spontaneous video. No kind of scripting, nothing. It was just, I never have any scripts in my video anyways. I went to TBR Performance to get the dyno of my own GXSR, and I found Ritchie and his dad there, and I thought, you know what, let's do a video. So that's how it all started. But anyways, thanks guys for watching this, and I really appreciate your patience. Keep liking, keep subscribing. A lot more videos like this coming up throughout the winter. Take care.